yourself by knowing your knowing your weaknesses and how allowing them to become your strengths. And I think a lot of us, when we come into this field, in a sense, when we understand Beachbody, and as a coach, we're like, yeah, it's a great great community. I love the products. Some of us have had results with the products. Some of us just wanted to sign up because our family, our friend asked us to do it, and we said, sure, why not? I know that's kind of how I started. Erin just asked me, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I didn't understand what I was getting into, but as I did, I really started loving it. The reason I think I've stayed with Beachbody so long is because the person I have grown myself into, the person that I have become because of all the personal development that I've read. I don't have a huge transformation. I don't have I've made like a ton of money from doing this. But what I have gained, and I feel is the most important thing out of this all, is getting to know who I am better, getting to understand myself better, and most importantly, and that's all because of personal development. I feel like my transformation is the growth of the person I am. So I have an exercise for all of you people on the team call right now. And I think you guys have pen and papers if possible. Cool. So one thing I want you to understand is, I want you to write down what your insecurities are, what people have heard from you, what you've heard from people and people that you really care about, actually, like maybe your husband or your mom or your dad, and kind of makes you a little bit insecure. I know for myself, my brother has said, like, so what is it you actually do as a coach? Like, you shouldn't be eating that, and it makes you feel like guilty, obviously. I think for myself, like, I have all these, little bits of insecurities, like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a huge transformation, or, those type of stuff. And also, like, another thing I want you to write down, is, excuse me, I didn't write down in my notes, but like, oh geez, what was it? Write down insecurities and, write down, write down things that bother you. Like little bit of these pet peeves, because like, I know Alicia and I work together, during the week. We do our power hour weekly, and we talk about, like, oh, like, yeah, this person sent me a message, and like, it really bothers me when people don't pay attention, when they send you a message on Instagram, and they're trying to ask you to become a coach, or doing a rap, or something, and that bothers me. And those are type of I guess, in a sense, also insecurities, because, like, it gets to me. I don't know why. In my field, like, that you're working with people, you have to understand your triggers, and these are your triggers. And one of the first things that they told you, to know what your triggers are, is that what's going to set you off, basically. If somebody said something about you, what's going to set you off? And for me, at the time, it was, if anybody said anything about my son and me being a teen mom, that was going to be my trigger. So, I mean, obviously, I've grown past that, and I'm okay with that. If anybody said anything, well, you're a teen mom, I'm like, yeah, cool, because he's like 20 now, and he's graduated, high school, is in college, and he's getting, like he's not, or I'm not in either way, as well as like not going anywhere, in a sense. Like, we have a direction in life, so that's why I feel like it's no longer insecurity for me. But I didn't know that was my insecurity until I wrote it down, you know, until it was put into place. Like, imagine if somebody was going to say something to you and you just got pissed off. You got to know what it is, because that's going to be your trigger, you know. And like I said, there's a way to get past all that stuff. So I don't know if any of you guys wrote any stuff down. Did you guys? Okay, cool. Okay. So now the best way that I can explain to go ahead and get past that is that this is when if somebody were to go ahead and tell you something, you know, it reaches you emotionally in an empathetic way. Like, empathy meaning not sympathy, like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Empathy is like, wow, I get what you're saying. I get it. You know, I you know, like, I felt like that too. And when you write down these insecurities that you have, like, whatever it could be, like I haven't, you know, like, had a huge transformation, and I've been in this thing for a long time, or if somebody says, like, you know, I think a lot of it would be like, I haven't made any money from this business, and sometimes, you know, somebody even said, like, oh, you're ugly, you know, like, or, you know, you're wasting, or something like that. You can understand what they say. Like, I have felt like them too. I mean, it's a true feeling. That's what it is to have empathy, to go ahead and have that feeling of, like, understanding. And when you write those things down, I know if somebody were to approach you about it, you would have empathy for that person. And so, you know, you got to write down, how would you act towards that? How would you go ahead and the next step actually would be going to, like, well, how would you react to that person? How would you go ahead and feel? I'm kind of jumping around, but, like, in a sense, like, when all these rap girls, or when another coach or something writes me or sends me a message, I get a little annoyed, and I'm like, why am I getting annoyed? And there's these triggers. There's two triggers that are going on with me. Number one, it's like, don't you already see that I'm a Beachbody coach? And, like, you shouldn't, you know, like, why are you wasting my time and your time, in a sense? And that's really snobby of me. I mean, I'm being straight up. That's a very snobby way to go ahead and think of that. And then, and number two is like, wow, they're actually taking the time to actually write me, and I'm not doing that to, you know, I haven't reached out to anybody. Regardless if I'm their no, maybe that's what they're looking for. I don't know what their ulterior motive is. I should be doing that too. So it's like, it brings out the trigger of a snob and insecure, but an insecure snob, because, like, I should be doing the same thing as they do. So, I mean, and my reply is always pretty much the same. It's like, you know, thanks for taking the time out of your day to go ahead and reach out to me. I'm not interested, but good luck with your business, because I know that's what I would want somebody to do for me. And I think, and that brings on to my fear of, you know, reaching out to people, because I don't want to meet somebody like myself where they're like, ew, get away. Don't you already know I'm a coach? Duh. You know? So, that's what I think, you know, when it comes to, you know, these certain comfort zones that we have, we just got to really face that type of fear, in a sense, and realize, well, you know, like, we can't be that person. You know, we have to be better than that person. And sometimes we're going to come across those type of people, but, you know, don't let that one person get to you, because you were that one person once too. So anyways, that's where, you know, I think it's important to understand what your weaknesses are as a person, to make sure that they become your strengths. You know, I have a deal about understanding, empowering women. I want to empower every woman that I meet. I have been around many women that are just come off very catty and snobby, and that bothers me, because it's just like, what's the deal? You know, I don't understand that. I don't want to be, and I just don't want to be that type of person. And I think a lot of people can relate, and I read this from a lot of our coaches, is that I was always the type of girl to hang out with guys because I can't deal with women. Women are too catty. The women get too, I'm just not the person to, get to know women. I think that's a insecurity that a lot of us women have. I mean, I know it's hard being a woman, first of all, but it's really also hard to be a friend to a woman because you just don't get it sometimes. You just don't understand like what's happening. But I know I do my best to try to remove any type of like judgment, in a sense, to a woman that's going through some things, and just literally listen to what they have to say. And I think that's another thing as women that we have a tendency to do poorly, is listen, be active listeners. And that just means like listening to what they have to say, not talking about you, not talking about what happened to you or what's going on with you. And I know that's something I always have to work on as well. But anyways, when it comes to, the these type of insecurities, it's really important to understand that these type of things about you, these little triggers that you have, and your reaction is completely based on your feelings, and never a reaction of based on that person. And that's what growth is. That's true growth. That's what maturity can bring you. And obviously that's what personal development has brought me as well. So anyways, not to focus technically on your insecurities and your triggers, but it's also good to write down the opposite feelings, because when you start feeling those type of ways, and when you start feeling those type of feelings, you can switch your thoughts in a second and just go ahead and transfer it to make it into something more positive. Like, going back to being a teen mom, but I'm a good mom. I'm a really damn good mom, so like, it didn't matter what age I had him at. He turned out pretty damn good for me being so young. Or, so there was nothing really truly to be insecure about. I think a lot of us focus on the little things, like, shit, I forgot to feed him lunch today, like, what a terrible mom I am. But reality, he's a healthy kid. Like, the bigger picture is he's a healthy kid. He's not, and I think sometimes we get so stuck on the little things that we didn't do. And even when it comes to a coach, there's little things that I forget to do, and I'm like, shit. But the bigger picture is like, no, like, I've been steady with being a coach, and I should be really proud of the things I'm doing. And again, it's just little things that we let ourselves get to the best of us. So anyway, so that was a bunch of little feelings of understanding. Now, I wanted to talk about how those type of things can motivate you. Now, excuse me. My whole job my whole job that I do is worked on motivation. Everything I do at work is motivation. And people say, oh, motivation's BS, and you don't have you don't need motivation, but you definitely do to get yourself started. And motivation changes. It's the same thing with that whole reason why. There's people that lack it at times, but I know, like, for myself, I need it all the time. And I don't know if any one of you have filled out the 5 languages of love. It's a really great way to understanding how you're motivated as a person in general. Like, okay, no problem. Alicia said phone emergency. Well, I'll just wait, since it's just the two of you. Might as well just go ahead and wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
We'll probably be back soon.
Yeah. So, anyways, oops.
Yeah.
So, did you get anything out from that so far, Brooke?
I've got like 2 whole pages. Well, that many notes already.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't usually take notes on the team call, so. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you have notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, like I may not have like a huge like physical transformation, but my mental transformation is like on point. I feel like I can't stop reading enough to learn and not learn enough. I love it. I really love it. So I mean, and like just with the background, my degree, not not really. Well, just the field that I'm in. I would just say that my degree is like, but the field that I'm in, I really enjoy doing this because I like people. People are cool.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
never wanted to work with people. I was like, that's why I chose graphic design, so I could sit behind a desk and not deal with people.
Yeah.
But when I became a coach and just like doing personal development and stuff, my mind started changing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love people. I love this.
Yeah. It's like, I know people really, people, I think people get stuck in these like negative type of situations and they just say, forget it all. I don't want to deal with any more than I have on my plate. And, but I don't know. I always like people. People have always like, I think because like, I was so shy growing up and then they're like, oh man, I can have friends. Wow. Like cool,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and growing up, I remember somebody called me a name at school, and my dad was like, oh, you didn't punch her? That's how I like thought I was supposed to deal with things. So it's just like punch people.
Yeah.
So I had like my group of friends, and I had a lot of friends, but then I also had all these people that bullied me and picked on me. And that was one of the reasons I think why I wanted to sit behind a desk and not have to like deal with people, because I didn't want them to pick on me or be rude to me. So I just kind of like buried my head behind my computer.
Exactly. And in our field, that's what you call an escape. It's like like with our kids, like we were waiting for you, Alicia. I'm sorry. But with our kids, we call it an escape. Like one of my kids, like all the kids have escapes. They're all really cute. Sometimes some of them are really scary. But like one of my first kids, that I started working with, instead of staying on task, he would escape by singing songs. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And he was like, A, B, C, D, E. I'm like, oh man, why can't you be like doing something mean, like bite me or go ahead and push me or grab me? And so you're saying ABCs, you're so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's an escape behavior. Huh?
Sorry, I have to run. My husband's cousin is stuck in the snow at their lake lot half an hour away, so we've got to go pull her out.
Oh, no problem. Dude.
Sorry.
No. We'll talk about it later. We'll have our team call tomorrow. Don't forget 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Our little Zoom call. Okay, bye.
Sorry.
Good night. Yeah.
Bye.
Alicia's so cool. I love her. It's been really motivating for us to go ahead and sit together, like talk every week, once a day.
Yeah.
We do little Zoom things. Keeps me really accountable because that's like what I need. So anyways, let me just finish this up and then I'll wrap it up hopefully like in the next like 10 to 15 minutes. So understanding your love language. So this will help you not only understand yourself better, how you're motivated, but I'll understand pretty much a lot of other people around you. There's a quick, easy test, like online. It's www.5languagesoflove.com. If you've taken it before, take it again, just because it does change. It's changed for me a couple of times. And if you're not exactly sure what the 5 languages of love are, they are, where do we go? Hold on for a second. I want to say I'm perfectly correct. I don't want to go ahead and be like, yeah. I think it's this one. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, words of affirmation. So like when people congratulate you on stuff, like I guess like you need to hear that those type of words of affirmation, like, you did a great job, fantastic, wonderful. Acts of service. So if like somebody does something for you after completing something, I suppose, are receiving gifts. Like, I know, like, that's the way my dad loved me, is receiving gifts, because he couldn't spend the time with me. So I would cherish those little gifts that he would give me, because that wasn't to replace the love that he was giving me. Quality of time. So spending time with each other. For my boyfriend, that's his deal. He loves when I'm spending time with him. So like, that's the way he shows, I show him my love. And then physical touch. So like for people, like, the hugs, the squeezes, the high fives, like, of showing love, so it's important to know what kind of person you are. Most importantly, it really does help you understand the type of people you're talking to too, because like, and you may not be talking to the same type of person you are, and it's because, and your message may not be coming across to them the way you think it is, because it just like, it doesn't mean anything to them. It doesn't have any true meaning of understanding. So like I said, with my job, I work completely with motivation, understanding how to motivate a child to definitely like get the results that I want. I mean, and whether it's a positive or negative motivation too. I mean, I have kids that are negatively motivated at such a young age, and it's pretty much a bummer, because like, it's hard to break out of. And from talking to different clients and different people, and different customers with Beachbody, I'm understanding a lot of us are negatively motivated. There's not too many that are motivated positively, and those 5 languages of love are definitely positive ways that we can go ahead and try to motivating people, and as well as ourselves. I know from my example would be for myself would be I started my fitness journey because and I always started my fitness journey for the same exact reason, is because a boyfriend broke up with me, and I wanted to lose weight, in a sense, to feel like revengeful, in a sense, like, well, I can do better than you, just wait, just look at, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to feel good. And it always worked. It always made me feel better. And I mean, talking to some of the girls and some of those people that have bought Beachbody products is like, well, why are you doing this? Well, new chapter in my life. I want to go ahead and, lose weight, or, I just want to feel good about my body. And that's really motivating for a lot of people. But if you don't understand, and then that motivated me and that kept me going. But as soon as I got in a relationship, I was like, boom, never mind. I'm good. But yeah, you definitely want to know where the motivation is coming from, and how you sustain that motivation, and how that motivation changes. And it's kind of like a what we call preference assessment. You want to make sure that you're providing, well, is this still motivating me? Is that still motivating me? So like, for instance, like, a lot of people want to do short-term goals, motivation, and say, well, I want to go to Vegas, or I have a trip coming up, or, I need to lose this much weight for this weight. And which is great. Like I said, like it's good to get you started, but I feel like our jobs as coaches is to understand how much important it is to sustain this as a lifestyle. And that it becomes the only way that we can do that is as a mindset. And I think for us as to be a reputable coach, and to be a good coach in a sense, not only to ourselves but to the others that we're providing coaching to, is to reiterate how important this is a lifestyle to them. And I feel like, and I can tell you this from my, like I said, from myself, because it's my personal story, that I don't feel like I was being a good coach because I didn't have this huge physical transformation. It wasn't until like this Lent, I gave up sugar and flour, and I started feeling better about myself. I started making more healthier choices, and then I started thinking about the mindset of this, like how important it is for us to like sustain this type of lifestyle. And that's what it is, a lifestyle. I can't cheat once a day, because that's what I was doing, and think I'm gonna be okay. Excuse me, hold on. Excuse me. Thank you. So but yeah, so on to, from motivation to understanding why, to get yourself started is motivation gets you started. Now what keeps you going is, like the mindset is changing your mindset to a growth mindset, and understanding how this is going to can be a lifestyle change, and it's not as hard as everybody thinks. And I think, like I said, as coaches, that's where we have to have that mindset, is to really be the product of the product, and then also like keep our, show why we do what we do. And it's definitely, I mean, because Brooke, you and I have talked about this before. Neither one of us are money motivated. Neither one of us are motivated by how much money we make. I mean, I'll show you my freaking W-2, and I'll tell you, like, obviously I do what I do because I love it, not because I get paid a whole bunch from it. I mean, I'm lucky I have the life that I have with the amount of money I'm making, because it's pretty crazy. but like I said, it goes back to the 5 languages of love, is understanding what kind of person you are, and knowing that what motivates you, so you can stay motivated. So anyways, that's all I have for right now. Of course, if anybody ever wants to talk to me about want to know what's your motivation, or what how to figure out what motivates you, and if you're like struggling with something to get started, or to understand yourself a little bit more, or even to start with a why, I'm always willing to help as much as I can. And I can't figure that out for you, but I can definitely help you. It's definitely something that I really feel is a strength of mine, because like I said, it's a field that I'm in, and I know it's helped a lot of people around me, and including myself. So, there I go, Brooke.
That was such an amazing call.
Thanks.